Hi guys, my name is Eric, and I'm going to present my solution for the Power Up program from Microsoft, where we do have this business scenario where we have a shoe boutique called SoulStyle, and we were required to create an end-to-end solution using the Power Platform. So we do have those user requirements here, where basically we have 3 different kinds of users, and we have several requirements here that I'm going to show you. The only one that wasn't possible to be made was this one, because we don't have access to Outlook connector or even the email on this account provided by Microsoft. So that's why we were not able to do it. But let's jump into the solution. So here I already am logged in into my environment, and I have chosen my solution called Final App Challenge. I have my Canvas app here, my model-driven, my chatbot, my Power Automate flows, and my Dataverse tables. Just quickly, I'm going to show you these tables here. I have orders table for the orders made by my users. So just as a heads up, because we're going to need those information, for these 603 item here, my casual loafers, I do have only one on them in my stock. And for these athletic sport shoes, I do have 67, okay? So keep that number on your head, okay? So let's jump into my Canvas app. I'm going to open it here very quickly. Okay. So basically the way to change or switch between users is using by this button, okay? So as a customer, I have access only to these 3 items. I'm going to show you first the customer experience, and then we can check the manager and the crew, the staff, okay? So let's say that I'm a customer and I want to buy some shoes. So I'll go to this products button, and I'll face this nice screen here showing all my men's shoes as a default, but I also have women's shoes. I could sort filter them by a price range. I could make them ascending, descending. I can reset all my filters. I could maybe just filter for using these, or I could select by color or even category. Okay, so let's select those. Also, something that I must to say is that some items are on sale. So they do have a 20% discount. And here I can check the previous value and the current value. So that's a huge deal. Also, if I need or want to check some extra information about each shoe, I do have those description buttons here, the information buttons where a pop-up will show some information about them, okay? Also, on this screen, I can add those items to my cart, or I can add them to my wish list, okay? And let's say that before I had athletic sport shoes on my wish list, but now I want to change them to my cart. So once I do this, I automatically unselect them from my wish list and vice versa, okay? So for now, I'll select these for going to my cart and both of these to go to my wish list, okay? If I come here to my wish list, I can switch the quantities here if I want, and I can even delete them. And once I change the quantities here, it automatically recalculates and give me the total quantity, the total weight, and the total amount. So I'm just going for now to remove these, and I'll keep like these 4 of those athletic shoes, okay? And that will make these. And that's still my wish list. So if I want to actually buy those shoes, I'll need to add them to my cart. So with this button, I am able to add this item to my cart, and then I can buy them. So why is this button disabled? Remember that we checked on our table that we only had one available casual loafer brown, okay? So that's why we do not have we can't add some extra quantities. Something to mention as well is that we are only displaying here items that our stock quantity is higher than 0. Otherwise, we're not even displaying them to our customers, okay? So let's continue and proceed to checkout then. So I have these, I said, well, actually I'm going to get 3 of these, 1 of that. I'm going to check the total quantity, the total weight, total amount, and I'll finish my order. So once I click here, I'll go to this checkout page where I'm entering my information, okay? So Eric Boucher. So here I can only enter 16 numbers, okay? I cannot enter text, and I can enter my full address here. Okay, so once I hit submit, I do have the spinner here. Because basically we do have 2 things happening. I need to remove that item's quantity from my inventory and also creating a new order on my orders list. And something really nice is that we do have a Power Automate flow running in the background where I'm basically getting my latest order ID created once I submitted this new order. So that's an important number to keep it in mind. So I'm just noting it here. So our order ID is PO-1018, okay? So once my bot is done, I'm kind of done with the user experience. And let's say that I want to check about when will my order be delivered. So I can use my Power Virtual Agents to do this. So I do have this support button here where I'll have this virtual assistant, and he can help me about my delivery date. So I'll just say delivery date here, and he say, well, let me find your order. Could you please provide your order ID? If I type some random numbers here, he won't be able to find it, but he will actually guide me on the correct order to choose. So he'll say that it's something like PO and other 4 digits. So I do have that because I noted this. So my order ID is PO-1018, right? So once I send this, the bot will go to my table. He'll check my estimated arrive date, and he'll retrieve that information to me. So once that, I can choose if that answered or not my question, and he'll also ask for some rate on the experience. And if I don't need anything else, he'll just give me a nice goodbye. So thanks a lot, virtual agent. So that was my experience as a customer. Now moving quickly as a staff. So let's say that I am a staff, and let's say that I put some random password here, which is the wrong password. If I try to submit, it won't let me. It will give me an access denied on that pop-up, and after 2 seconds, it will go away. But if I use my correct answer, which is staff, and hit submit, I do have access granted, and this extra button will appear to me. So me as a store staff, I do want to have the ability to check my stock and to change them. So if you remember correctly, we only had one of these casual loafers, and our customer just bought it. So now we have a 0 quantity of it. And we also have some coloring to say that if I have a quantity higher than my target stock, I'll have it green, otherwise I'll have it in red, okay? And so for this case, I do have a 0 here, and I want to change that. So also same thing, I can filter everything here, and I'm going to change these quantities from 0 to something else. So if I come here, I'll see that, and I say, well, I just received 100 of those shoes. So I'll change that, I'll hit submit, and it should be fine. Also on this page, to manage all my products, I can do the same. I can filter, I can even create new products here if I want, okay? And that's a nice way for staff to manage inventory, okay? We also can do that using modern driven apps, but I'm going to show this in a minute. Okay, so now if we go to products, we will see our casual loafers again. Okay, so we just saw how the staff is going to do it. If I click here, I'll lock everything and I'll come back as a customer again. But if we now log in as admin, we'll have actually access to a fifth new button called report. And once we click here, a Power BI report is going to show us on this app. So that's our Power BI report, our dashboard, right? And that's full interactivity. So we can see our top 5 product sales. We can see the inventory cost, the target, the amount of the target units of all of our shoes, the current stock, and the turnover of those shoes. And it's all dynamic. So if we click here, it will filter all the rest. So we do have the several graphs to check several things. And we also have filters to filter by category, by product name, and so on and so forth. Now let's just move into our modern driven apps. I already have it open here. So in our modern driven apps, we do have the ability to check all the important information about our stock. We can add new items to it if we want using here, or we can also update the inventory. So let's say that we want to decrease this quantity here. So I'll just select this. I would click edit, and from 50, I would maybe put it to 100 and hit save and close. Okay, so that would also update my database. Also, something that I have here in my shoe inventories is those charts. So I can click here and I can see all my current quantity stock and my target stock for all the categories. And if I want to do some drill down, I can click here, and let's say I can select product name, and I can also use these. So I can basically drill down and have the check on the current quantity stock and my target stock for each of these products for these category chosen at Athletic. And also I can come here to generate a Power BI report, and I can play around with all my column values to generate a Power BI on the fly. So I can come here, I can select, for example, product name, quantity stock, and target stock, and it will automatically generate a report for me and even provide some insight information of that. So finally, we can come here into our orders view, and let's pretend that I'm on my warehouse and I'm going to deal with this order created by the customer that just was created. So if I come here and edit, I'll see all the stages required to finish this order. So I just received this order about 11 minutes ago. And once I click here, it will just display to me the created date. I'll just go to the next stage. Oops. And here, first I'll need to check if the payment was approved, and then I'll go to the next stage. And once I click next stage, this will be marked as a check mark. So once I finish of picking and packaging all my products, I'll hit yes, go to next stage. And the day that my order was shipped, I'll just come here and select the date and time, go to next stage, and the order should be delivered sometime later, as the delivery company tell us. And once it's delivered, we'll finish that order. And that's all for our end-to-end solution. Thank you very much.